Start our demonstration, and as explained, this is showing a POC for the second part, because as we explained, you have two automations in here, meeting to design and then design to infrastructure deployed. This is showcasing the design to infrastructure deployed case where we automate, you put your design, infrastructure is deployed. You no longer need to talk with anyone to develop your IEC or whatever. Let's start. Why I'm showing you this is Azure portal. So this is where our infrastructure is going to be deployed. Okay, so now you see only two resource groups. In our deployments, we're going to deploy a new one with different resources. We're going to try to deploy a virtual machine. So our UI looks something like this. On your left, you have the list of available resources. So the idea is to onboard all cloud providers and all platforms that the client needs. For this POC, we're showing some resources from Azure, Microsoft's Azure. So let's start. As we said, we're going to deploy a virtual machine, right? But our virtual machine cannot be created without a subnet. So this is also a great feature on the tool. It does all the verifications needed for you not to mess up your design, okay? Because once you do your design, you are one click away from either breaking your infrastructure or doing magic, okay? So the tool itself validates everything before you publish it. So let's start from scratch. First thing we deploy in Azure is a resource group, okay? Inside the subscription, of course. So you deploy a resource group. Inside the resource group, we're going to deploy a virtual network. Inside the virtual network, we're going to deploy a subnet. And inside the subnet, we're going to deploy a virtual machine, okay? I'm going to showcase a bit some verifications, but for time, I'm just going to try to go faster. So each resource can be linked, input and output, and it shows that this resource is deployed inside the other resource, okay? Or is using the other resource's output as input, okay? Now I connected everything, but I configure nothing, right? If I try to publish, it's gonna tell me you didn't configure something, right? So that's the greatest capabilities of this tool is that it automates and it also helps you enforce compliance inside your company. You're a big company, you have a lot of users, a lot of teams, and everyone would do things in his way, in different way, specific to the way he understands things. But with the tool, everyone is gonna do the design in the tool, and all the infrastructure deployed in your platform is gonna be compliant with the rules that we encode in the solution. Okay, so let's start first. For example, here we're gonna enforce a naming convention as well. I'm just gonna give it an index, and later you're gonna see that the name is not gonna be only 001. The name is gonna be a full resource group name. Okay, so let's save. I'm gonna do this very quickly, so I'm just gonna give it the same indexes. This is a subnet, so let's give it the address prefix. This is a VM, so we're gonna give it the index name, and we're gonna publish. And now the magic happens. Okay, all I did is do my design on the tool, hit a button, and now everything is gonna happen behind the scene. Okay, so now I'm gonna swap to our pipelines, and you see it's already kicked a pipeline that will deploy my infrastructure. Okay, and this is all gonna happen after I clicked one single button. So let's wait for the pipeline to deploy, and then later we'll go back to our Azure platform and see that our infrastructure got deployed. Okay, perfect. So now we see our pipeline did its job. It did run in 2 minutes. We can also see it on the interface that the publish button is no longer grayed out, so the deployment ended up. And if I swap to my Azure platform, we can see we have a new resource group. And as I said, all I defined before is 001. It's enforced a naming convention behind that can be encoded, okay? If I go inside my resource group, I can see my VNet, I can see my VM, I can see all the resource needed to deploy what I designed. Let's go, for example, you see you have the same address space. Inside the VNet, we can see also the subnet. So this is my subnet, its address space. So this is how we do it. This is how we automate a part that's now taking a long time, that's now taking great coordination between teams, and now with your help, if we can extend this to automate also the first part, meetings to design, we can reduce enormously the go-to-market for a lot of solutions. Meeting, 30 minutes later, infrastructure ready. Thanks for being here with us.